Good evening, friends. My name is Alfred Kinsey, also known as the foremost authority on the ever-evolving study of human sexuality in our Western world. I am the proud author of what is sure to be one of history's most intriguing cross-sectional studies of sexuality in the Kinsey Reports. You see, although I'm known in many circles for being on the cutting edge of controversy, it hasn't always been that way. I was born in a sleepy Hoboken, New Jersey suburb to devout Christian parents. As a young, chronically sick boy, I joined the Boy Scouts and became one of the first Eagle Scouts in America, ever. As a matter of fact, sexology is not my first love, it's biology. I graduated magna cum laude from Bowdoin College with degrees in both biology and psychology. And by the way, I also won the contest to give the commencement speech at my graduation. I continued my graduate studies at Harvard, writing my doctoral thesis on the lives of gall wasps. I introduced the gall wasp as an animal to the wider scientific and academic community. In 1926, I wrote a widely used high school biology book called An Introduction to Biology, and in the context of the Scopes monkey trial and the proponents and opponents of evolution, I introduced evolution to the standard school curriculum. It was also the first textbook to successfully unite two different types of sciences, which most people thought of as totally foreign in botany and zoology. Perhaps the greatest accomplishment of my life is meeting my wife, Clara. She means so much to me. And without her and her love and compliance and her understanding, some of my greatest work would have never ever come to fruition. Well, let's get down to brass tacks. Today, on March 20th, 1963, we are here to address a prominent American social issue, which, in this very age following the Lavender Scare, as well as the tragic suicide of Senator Lester Hunt, this issue has really thrust itself into the collective American consciousness in a way that it has never done so before. Yes, we have come to address, indeed, the large pink elephant in the room, that of homosexuality, and in particular, its place amongst our American system of values, morals, and ethics. And it is only so appropriate, considering that we are in Indiana University's Morrison Hall, also known as the Alfred Kinsey Institute, for Research in Sex, Gender, and Reproduction. It only seemed fitting, since this is essentially where the scientific study of human sexuality truly began to take shape. This institute continues to answer questions about the human condition that few researchers dare to even ask. And in the spirit of science and humanity, all of these people have come from a range of diverse backgrounds where socially tough and uncomfortable questions are posed and answered on a frequent basis. Okay, well, joining me today is a well-rounded panel of proponents and dissenters, beginning with America's golden boy, Joe McCarthy, and his close friend, Roy Cohn. Both are founders of the Lavender Scare movement, as well as the Red Scare, second wave Red Scare movement. Alongside them is Republican Senator Minority Leader Kenneth Wherry from Nebraska. Give a big hand to Ken He's another crucial member of the movement. And joining him is Senator Clyde R. Huey of Wisconsin, publisher of the Huey Report on Homosexuality in Government. Rounding out the proponents are Harry Hay, founder of the Mattachine Society, the first pro-gay rights organization in the United States, as well as Del Martin, the founder of the Daughters of Bilitis Club, the first lesbian civil rights organization in the United States. Joining them is scientist Evelyn Hooker, also a psychologist who is currently researching if there is indeed a link between homosexuality and disease. Her thesis is that there is not one, so that is pretty cool. And last but not least, I have the honor of introducing Frank Kameny, one of the founding fathers of the modern gay rights movement, and one of the first to campaign for gay rights at the national level, with the first ever gay rights protests in our nation's capital. Well, now that I've introduced everybody and all of our friends, I just want to go out on this note. In the history of this country, homosexuality has often been thought of as an act equated with treason, and has often been compared to disease or mental illness. It is a stigma as opposed to an actual sexual orientation. Far too long, this issue has been a one-sided affair with no balance to it. For far too long, this issue has only been expressed or talked about in private spaces or in thought. Never before in history have two distinct sides come together to have an open dialogue and debate this subject. And depending on how things turn out, it might be many years before it happens again. It is a precaution to note that personal lives may be taken into account, if only for the purposes of proving, disproving, or enlightening the members of our panel. And now, with all formalities having been expressed, let us debate.